All right, welcome back to another episode of the Empty Out the Clip podcast, the EOTC. My name is Cams, and I'm here of the Heart of West Auckland with the brothers in the house, Eddie and Letty. What's up, my usos?
What's up?
Yo, Safuzo.
What's up, boys? Man, it's been a hectic week, man, on the news and in the neighborhood. Some sad news, but we'll get to that. There's some shout-outs.
I've only just got one heavy. It was probably with the heaviest heart to know that our Ranui's unsung hero, and probably my first primary school mate, Non Suosangi, passed away, lost his life at tag, and man, those affected by the bro's affection and his so-called coaching. Man, saddest news ever, man. Dude's done so much for the community, so much for the youth. Just real lenient with his time and especially his knowledge. But yeah, such a sad week for myself and a lot of the Ranui fams, West Auckland fams, pretty much Auckland and Central Knights tag, Waitakere tag, and anyone that's had the pleasure of rubbing shoulders with that guy. The news is probably still hasn't digested, but I managed to go around and see Sunny Friday morning or Saturday morning after I finished work. Shout outs to Suru and Junior and Junior went around to Auntie Emmy's and give a bit of a clean up around the front of the house. And yeah, shout outs to the to Bob and Mel as well. I can't imagine what you guys have been feeling right now, but I hope you guys make it home safely. Shout outs to Solo as well, and pretty much to all our Runway fans. We've all lost our brother, the uncle, and wish we all played like him, I suppose, in a few words. But yeah, that wraps up my shout outs. Probably my last shout outs to my cousin Joe. He got married yesterday, and his beautiful wife. Thanks to the cousin Tito Brick for having us. Beautiful wedding. Yeah, it was. I don't know, man, but I just gotta say, and I said it in my speech, bro. Like, I don't know who gets married at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like 10 o'clock in the morning, like in Riwa. But man, I can tell you this much, bro. Man, beautiful wedding, man. Beautiful wedding, and beautiful occasion to catch up with all my mom's family. So shout out to the people family in South Auckland, and to my people families that flew up from Tauranga and then flew over from Oz. Yep, that wraps up my shout outs.
Yeah, same word. Like, man, condolences to Nonu's family. My older brother Donald was close to him in the Waitak days, and they played a little bit of footy together. Used to do a lot of out-the-door shit together as well. But turned up to a lot of my family's funerals there. He was always there. Didn't really say much when he rocked up. He just like cracking jokes and whatnot. But yeah, for what he's done to the community, yeah, man. It's another son of West Auckland gone, man. Gone way too soon. Just want to make a shout out to the Westside Fitness teams that competed yesterday at the 2024 Fortress Games. Shout out to my family, my Liston brothers, the Westside Boxing crew, and also happy birthday to one of my good friends, my uso Vaughan Naono. He was had a bit too much to drink on the weekend, so we'll catch up later, Us. But yeah, that wraps up my shoutouts.
Nice.
Yeah, so also, yeah, man, it's just so sad. A sad week hearing the passing of Nons. Condolence goes to his family, Mel, Bob, and Sunny, and their mother. Man, it's like when I first heard it, I was like, shit. I thought it was a joke, and just carried on. And then just seeing all the stuff happening on Facebook and realizing it was true, I was like, damn. But you guys are right, man. That's another son of Ranui gone too soon. And man, it's just for a guy like that who's been fit, like he's always advocate of health, mind and body, doing his fit clubs and all that kind of stuff, and his exercise and his motivation and that. Well, he's giving back to the community in terms of his coaching, giving back to the school, and to all the kids, and you just see the outpour on social media, right? Just this whole week on Facebook. There's a lot, man, and you can see how much someone like that that gives back, what kind of love is it's showing, eh? So a person like that, he's done real good for his friends and his family and his community as well. So yeah, it was a sad week. And, yeah, man, just wanna send condolences to the family. Yeah, and I was thinking about when he came on the back of the 135, and that's because I was thinking about Isaiah as well. How this is like a digital footprint of whatever you throw down on the podcast, and you just never know. But I think I'm just grateful that he did come on the back of the 135 and just tell a story, because it's gonna be there forever. And I know it's a sad acknowledgement, but I always thought that when it's our time, I know I can be happy that my kids and my grandkids and that can have something of me online on the internet, forever. So
Man.
yeah, it's just something I've sort of thought about when Isaiah passed away and when Nons he passed away too. So yeah, they're both gone too soon, but just something I was thinking about. Yeah. So yeah, shout outs to everyone that listens in to the podcast, the MC the Clip. You can find us on Facebook. We've got a group page on Facebook. You can jump in, answer the 3 questions, and we'll let you in. It's your chance to throw in some comments, some articles, and we can talk about it on the podcast. Also, check out our website, www.weswesnet.com. You can find our articles there and links to our other podcasts. Yeah. Other than that, how's your week, guys? Start with you, Edie.
Week's been pretty good. Just trying to train and rebuild the muscle of my legs and whatnot. Nothing much really this week. It's just been same old. And then with the passing of Nonu coming around, it was a bit hard to function a little bit. It was just a bit numbing. So I tried to call my brothers and whatnot. So some of the boys in the chat were a bit sad. So had a bit of a chat and a little prayer, whatnot. But week's been pretty chill at home. But man, like on the news, man, this been pretty wild, eh? But this week's just been chills.
Oh, bro. Honestly, I couldn't remember anything that happened before Thursday. Like, I was literally at work when I got the news that Non passed away. And I guess, like, when I looked at my phone, I probably had about maybe 12 messages, or mostly from Ranui Fems, and then a handful of guys that I went to school with. But yeah, it wasn't until I picked up and saw Mickey's text, and I'd always read, like, I know I don't need confirmation from someone, but just to see that Mickey had messaged me and said that, hey, None was at tag and he passed away. And that was confirmed through our mutual friend Joel. But I just felt pissed, like just mad, like, we didn't get to catch up and stuff. And I know, like, we got a close group of boys that we, like, when Nonu started up Bootcamp and that we sort of promised each other, like, keep in touch, man. Like, fuck, we're not promised tomorrow. Like, do your best to try and live for the kids and that. But like I say it all the time, man, like, no one's promised tomorrow, and the one thing you're going to be asking for you on your deathbed is time, you know what I mean? But I suppose that, finding the comfort in, like, and trying to remember Nons is just celebrating his life. Like, I shared that with Sunny, like, and me and Sunny had a good yarn Friday morning, but it was about, don't hold on to stuff that's, like, if you had personal differences or, like, a fallout with him, like, don't hold on to that, like, that's gonna eat you up. But more or less figure about his son, figure about his mom, and let's celebrate his life, because, bro, he's done so much good. And I'm glad that he saw the back of the 135 I ripped, because knowing me and him, it's like, if he see me to put my hand into something, I know he wants a part of it. So I was glad that when Cams gave me the opportunity to rip one, like, fuck yeah, I'll rip one, man. Because it is a digital print, and it is a, like, when I look about it, if I went back and watched it now, shit, no one would have told me that I was going to have a son. No one's going to tell me I was going to walk out of my job at Cook. Like, life was good, man. So I'm glad that Nonu saw that and that he thought, fuck, I want to rip one. Because, man, the gems that came out of that yarn, like, I probably stitched up his yarn about David Smith and David Smith's, David Nafo's Moody, like, that in a game. Like I managed to post that, but I'm just grateful. Like, bro, he saw that we did one, and that he's probably like a couple of numbers over after that. So I'm just grateful, man. But even just to be mentioned in this pod, you know what I mean? Like people who know how far our friendship goes, like we're 40 this year, so I've known the dude since I was like what 3, more or less, from kindy, you know. He was my first mate that ever walked in. You know, when I walked into Biro, like he's the first dude to sort of like. You know, and these are the days when your parents had to drop you off and they weren't allowed to hang around, you know, because they encourage you to leave. And that's just, you know, it's been a blast, man. It's like, it's just crazy. Like, I still can't comprehend it. I don't think I want to see him, man. Like, that's how I feel. But yeah. But nah, with my cousin's wedding, bro, like, at the same time, also, I finished work at 11:30. By the time I got home, mate Albie's already ringing me. My mate Sulu's already ringing me. Sulu was saying, "Oh, we're up at Tuda, come. We're just cleaning up Mum's house." I didn't want to roll up, like, because in my head, okay, maybe there's a few guys sitting up there. I came in with Elliot. It was on the phone. We went back. It was just Junior, and Sunny and Sulu. And I don't know what these guys were doing, some recreational sort of like socializing, because it was 2 a.m. These guys are sweeping the driveway with a shovel and a broom. I was like, it was pretty loud, mate. But you know, that's the love we have for also. And then yeah, by the time I got home, it was probably like 4:30, and I had a wedding at 10 o'clock. Rocking out to my cousin's wedding on Remy River with this fuck all parking, and I was like, oh my gosh, my kids are getting ready. And I'm trying not to lose my cool, right? Because I haven't slept probably. Still catching up from my sleep from last weekend, where Kida's 21st. And bro, it couldn't have come at a better time, mate. Like, how many weddings do you know are 20 minutes? And my cousin's tongue took along. Like, I was like, are you serious? It's the wedding finished. Looking at the time, it's 11:15. I'm like, thank you, Jesus, man. And the beauty that came out of it is that before my mum passed, bro, she used to look after my first cousin's baby. So she must have been like maybe 6 or 7 months. One, you know, and like we had a couple of Christmases with her, and we used to call her baby. Her name's Jongaya, but her other name is Casey. So my daughters, first time I've been able to take my kids to a wedding, you know, where I'm not angry at them or have to drop someone off because I know one of them's gonna play up. So we go in. I'm still shocked that this wedding's finished in 20 minutes. We're walking out, and then the girls see this baby. Like, she was last year at my mom's funeral, and they're like, hey, they were just waving to her. She was waving back, and they're like, come. And then obviously Lauren asks Casey, do you remember me? And she says, yeah. And she says, what's my name, Dad? And she says, I don't know. So we literally kidnapped my niece back, chuck her in my truck, get her McDonald's, and then we gave her this wedding. Couldn't make this shit up, bro. And I was just laughing because she was like, can you buy me a Grimace shake? Sold, bro. I literally picked up another daughter. But man, got to the wedding reception, bro, out in Pepatoi at Koma Sports Complex out in Pepatoi. It's pretty, scrubs are quite nice. It's probably a more square version of Starling Park and a lot more cleaner and newer. But yeah, man. Bro, my cousins, bro, they just came through clutch for the little cuz. He's like the youngest of my cousins, of my mum's out of my mum's siblings' kids. And now again, man, we muck around, bro. Straight into the teachers. We just probably spend 15 minutes and no time to eat. And then when that, bro, just half an hour, the bar is open, guys. Open bar. I'm like, ah, bro, I was in bed by 3 o'clock. Say it like that. That's how good my weekend's been up until.
I think this would be in the top 3 of best weddings I've ever heard of.
And the funny thing is, I must have had like maybe three beverages. And my uncle was drunk. Well, he was pretty drunk. He was drinking beers, and he's diabetic. He flew in from Oz, and yeah, he wasn't drinking. He wasn't eating. But the spread, you know, when you get in, there's a nice island spread. Because he's Tongan, said they had the luau with the corned beef. And because he paid the catering bill because he's the oldest, he was like, it's either what I want or nothing. And my little cousin's like, oh, no, shop, bro. Right, and I was like, but there's so much food here. You know, Palagis, they really eat heavy. I'm like, man, I must have had like 3 plates. I ended up wearing a t-shirt because I knew the offals on my buttons were popping. So I was just like, oh man, I'm going to take my jacket off. I'm just be stuck, like, put a hat on and, you know. Yeah. But I was pretty, lucky my daughters drive, man. I was like, oh, you know, can someone drive? I'm just going to have a nap in the back. I just remember closing my eyes, leaving Pepatoi, and when I opened my eyes, we were in the driveway. So I suppose that sums up my weekend, man. in a nutshell. Crazy. So how's your week been, Moose?
Yeah, man, just like you guys, man. Up and down week. Up and down with the sad news, but up with the just the work. The work. I was pretty happy doing the because me and Eric jumped on Channel 145, did the review of Yellowstone.
That's a good listen, Moose. That's a very good listen. I was trying not to listen to the majority of the spoilers, but I was like, carry on. No one dies.
That was real fun, eh? Because I know Yellowstone's popular with our islanders, eh?
Loved your head, by the way.
You know, we love that show, and we know why, because I talked about it last week on the last podcast. But man, the discussion about Kevin Costner, man, I don't know what you guys think. What do you guys think Kevin Costner's not finishing off? Because we're talking about 6 episodes here. Just 6 episodes, far. If you want to die, why don't you die at the end? So we can see him die on the screen.
Old men are stubborn.
Yeah, man.
I think he's got to go on YouTube and just watch the best of Kevin, of Masaya and him and Shongi. So we leave it at that. I didn't hear anything that happened. I was like trying to skip it. I was like, no, don't say that. But yeah, shout out to Eric. I was cracking up at his. Maybe there's a little bit of hope he might come back on the last episode. Like, they said that he needs to kill him off.
Yeah. But I recommend you guys, if you guys haven't watched Yellowstone, to check it out, eh? Or catch up, because the last 5 episodes and it's gonna be finished for good. So we'll see what happens. But man, I'm enjoying the day. So me and Eric will jump on again next week for episode 10. We'll review episode 10 next week. So if you guys want to jump on too, if you guys have caught up with the series, you can jump on the podcast.
I'll try.
I don't have one of those cowboy hats. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna run that.
Yeah, bro.
I must say, that was just one of those $2 ones, eh? From the $2 store. I need to get a real cowboy hat, eh?
Fooled me, man. I was like, show me what
I need to get a real one. I might actually go get a real one, eh? Because it needs to be big, eh? It needs to be big. Yeah. And black too, just like Rips.
Oh.
Yeah, just haven't done much. I watched some movies. Work's still the same. Everyone's at work gearing up for Christmas. So we're already booked in a Christmas party. A work Christmas party. It's always the same every year. Go on holiday and then next thing you know it's over. And back to work in January. Got another whole year. Fucking hell. Yeah. But man, that's me for the week. So we get into our topics.
Cool.
All right, boys. So man, we can't not talk about this. So Thursday, I think Thursday was the reading of Dave Seymour's Principles Bill. Was the first reading on Thursday, and for every time a bill gets passed in New Zealand, there has to be 3. It goes through the process of 3 official readings in Parliament. So you have the first reading, there's a debate, then vote, and then it goes off, and then comes back for a second reading, then the process again, there's a debate, then vote, then it goes off again, comes back for a third reading, and if it passes the third reading, it gets placed into bill and it becomes law. So the first reading came Thursday, they had a debate, it came to voting, all the parties they voted came to the Māori party to vote, and it ended up not voting, ended up doing the Haka. And it was seen all over the world, man. And it was something to see because it came on social media, it flooded everyone's feed on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and it went viral. It practically went viral. And yeah, there were people commenting it on how good it was, people commenting it saying how a waste of time it was, people commenting on it saying, you know, that could have been done better, and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, on TikTok and everywhere. So everyone's seen it. It's a powerful thing that happened in Parliament. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Start with you, Eddie.
And Hakas are so much more beautiful when they're spontaneous, you know. When it's off the cuff and people join in, you know, and they chime in. You know, you had people from different political parties just jumping in. You had a guy with a Palestinian scarf on his shoulders joining in, like, you know, across the divide. I'll have to say it's probably one of the most defining moments in modern New Zealand politics. Even though this bill is not as controversial as like the seabed and foreshore bill, it's one of those bills that, for me, it's like a rotten apple on display. When you leave that rotten apple on display, it starts to affect other apples. It festers. It spreads. And that's what Seymour's done, bro. He's picked up this apple and he's just poisoned it and then chucked it back on display. And even though Luxon has promised that the National Party will not support it for a second reading, leaving it in there, letting it pass the first reading, just allows that festiness to come in. Like, you're seeing across the world where how politics has become more polarized. No one sees the common ground anymore. You got the Azov Brigade in Ukraine, which is a right-wing group gaining power. You've got the AfD, which is Alternative for Deutschland, which is a German party on the right wing, which is gaining ground in there. And these small political parties have been left like this rotten apple on display to fester, to spread their hate. And like, man, this bill needs to be killed. Like, the bloody Samoan said, like, we need to kill the bill. And allowing it to pass its first reading for me, is a bad idea. So this Haka for me was like the antidote that was needed for the time. And because it's so spontaneous, it felt so natural. It didn't seem forced. Like those Hakas that you used to see in like the malls, those
Mobs.
yeah, there's flash mobs, exactly. Yeah. This one seemed natural, and it was like even the people in the gallery joined in. And man, I really hope like more support from all the non-Māoris, Pākehā, Pacifica, Asians, the Middle East. Man, we need to stand together and help support the Māoris on this issue of killing this bill, because this bill is actually it's for equality, but it's it's done more damage than anything else. It's kind of caused more disruption and but I think the Haka for me is the purest expression of freedom of speech in New Zealand. It's not meant to be intimidating. It's a challenge. And for me, that Haka was not challenging the ACT Party. It was challenging us as Kiwis. Like, what are we gonna do? What's our reply? Like, man, like I saw that Haka as a call, not physically call to arms, but a call of unity. But that's my opinion, though.
That's beautiful.
Sick.
If I can just share. So before that reading, she got her opportunity. Just before that, Willie Jackson got asked to leave, and he was supposed to apologize because he said that David Sim was a disgrace to his iwi, and that was just minutes before that action even happened. So you can obviously see the effect that this bill has on all the Māori sitting in there. And you can't say, and like I've said before, some Māoris have been paid already. They've already had their land settlements already taken care of. Whereas this bill here is, like you said, man, it's like the festering of poison within that parliament building. And like even the people didn't think, okay, New Zealand's an awesome place to be. Like, we get along hand in hand with the Māori. But for that bill to even get to a second reading is obviously an infectious thing. And the amount of rubbish that David Seymour was trying to say and saying switching, like the moment you change something that's original, it's never gonna be as genuine as a founding document of a country, man. And man, it gives me scary times, man. Like, cause you can imagine now, like like how many things have happened. Like if this did go become law, like say that it becomes, they will go and rewrite this, and then that's going to be the founding document of this country. Who's to say that we don't end up like Hawaii? Who's to say that, And who's to say that whatever happened in Fiji when George Speight did that coup, who's to say that doesn't happen? Well, those are scary times, man. When the Commodore came in power in Fiji, he used the military. And then the military became the power. Like, they literally muscled everyone out. Who's to say that these Māori people, along with all the iwis and all these people marching, don't try and say, hey, you've been put on notice, when the king died, you've been put on notice. Who's to say that that doesn't happen? And then they start asking all the gang members to come out and flex for these people. Man, these guys have no idea the effects of what just trying to say equal has done to the population now. Like, bro, see the amount of people getting out to support. You know, because it's not right, man. Like this place belongs to the Māori people, man. We are on stolen land. Those first Pailangis, they came here and used the word New Zealand. We were real estate. They were real estaters from over in the UK. Like, how the hell is that even law? Like, that's unlawful. They came here unlawfully and tried to give land that belonged to Tangata Whenua the first time they came. And they've just gone and shit-showed it all by trying to say, oh, look, you know what? We got a government that works side by side now. How about we just make it even? It's never been equal from the start, man. But nah, your idols, they're Haka. That pretty much screams. If you have no idea what's going on, how about, you know, go and look at what's being posted on social media, but even on YouTube, man. TV and Demand. Go and have a look. Like, bro, we need to wake up. Pacifica people need to wake up. Once they start, like I've said before, man, once they start with the Maoris getting rid of all the names and all that stuff, the Pacifica people are going to be next, man.
Exactly.
And the Maori need their house system. They need people to be here to represent themselves. Just like we need, like we are born here. An equal right means nothing. An equal right means nothing in the Palangi's eyes. They came here already wealthy. Where's the wealth of the Maoris now? How many Maoris do you know? Can you say 10 for the population is doing really well? They didn't even have the rights to their own land. So how can it be equal? It cannot be equal. Like, people need to wake up, man. Like, fuck, let's not fucking become like Hawaii and then these people have been pushed out. Now they've been pushed off to the mainland, which is America. You know? We should not be sleeping or sitting in our hands, man, because this government, just because we got a prime minister, he might fast track shit, but bro, giving the Inkias and the Chinese and the rest of them the vote when we go to the next election, mate, this is freaking wrong, man. Wrong on so many levels. And it's just scary. For me personally, I think it's scary, man. Like for the fact that David Seymour has the right to say, look, your kid should be at school. Who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is he? To your own kid, to your blood. Like, what the fuck? That makes no fucking sense. The stuff that Tamaki was doing back in his day, now he's a hero. What, do we need to revolt another 60 years before we start calling all these Aumakakua and the kids walking to acknowledge that, hey, okay, they did something for us then? It shouldn't be even like that, man. It shouldn't even be up for debate, man. Just disturbing, bro. That's all it is to me, man. Like, and it's, I don't know. It's not a shock, but it's just disturbing. Like, nah, man. I'm proud of the Māori Party for standing their ground, man, and flexing their angonu'u in a place where it should belong. You know, because that's pretty much a chambers that's just bloody white as it freaking gets, man. So, you know, even like there's been in the past where they've cut off like Māori celebrating but acknowledging the Māori language before they've broken out in Haka and it's been thrown out in Parliament. But it's like, fuck, this is the Māori land, man. The native language of this country is not English, it's freaking te reo. You know, like, bro, these Palangi and all this shit need to, man, find a rock, bro, and go and hide, man, because be scared of these activists, like, as far as Tamaki was back in his day, like, to come out of the woodworks, bro. I'm scared. I think I just freaked myself out, man.
100%.
It's been 184 years since the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi, and it's been shit for the Māoris ever since. Even now, it's still shit. And you can pull up the stats. And there's been articles about it that if you look at the indigenous all over the world, the Māori actually have it. They have it better than a lot of the indigenous compared to indigenous around the world, right? But it's still shit. 184 years, and for them to do the haka in the parliament as a challenge to what's going on, I mean, and if everyone says that it's not right, they shouldn't do that. It's parliament. There's protocols. Well, fuck that, because they've tried to play the game all this time, and look where it's got them playing the game. You know, you gotta do something different. and you gotta upset the establishment, upset the system. And if you do it with the Haka in Parliament, because it got them worried. You saw Jerry Brownlee, he was rolling his eyes and stop, no shit. He let it go, and then he told everyone to get out of the gallery, that stuff. And it's like, see, you've upset the establishment, and they can't do anything but say, okay, you're banned for 24 hours. If you think that the message never got out, and if you think it was wrong for them to do the Haka, then no, because if you look at the result, look what happened all over the world, or around the world. Look at how this video went viral around the world. Just showed to everybody around the world what's going on down here. You know, I saw a lot of TikToks on Americans, even African Americans, stitching up the video of the Haka and saying how proud they were. They didn't understand what was going on, but they were proud that the Indigenous of New Zealand were standing up to the establishment. And the whole thing was around unity, because I heard this African American woman say that, man, I wish it was here in America. Like, what if we go back to our culture? It's bringing unity to our people to fight against the establishment. And so that's inspiring. So if this Haka inspired a lot of people around the world, then yeah, it was definitely a good thing to do. And plus, I don't see any other way you can get through to these white people. You know, you can't play their game. Like if people say, you know, you gotta, there's protocols, you gotta debate, but where's that? How good is that? It's taken the Māori people in 184 years. You gotta do something different, and this is what you gotta do. So, yeah, I had no problem with them doing the Haka. I thought it was a good thing. I thought it was a powerful thing, and just the way it strengthened the Māori community in the country. You know, there's a Hikoi going on right now. Thousands of people are walking, and inspired Pacific Islanders too. And if we talk about unity, it just did exactly that. And there is a division between the Māoris here in this country, because they all got different points of view.
To visualize it, it's like there's a dinner table, right? And you know, there's a white guy sitting there eating, you know, or whatever, and then he's asking the islanders to come sit eat, asking, you know, any other minority to come sit, and we're all eating our food, and then we look over to the corner, and there's a Maori sitting in the corner on his little kiddie table eating his food. Like, how do you feel, bro? Like, you know, you're enjoying this nice meal and you see your Māori cousins not eating at the table, bro. You know, how is that equal, bro? Like, in a society where everything was perfect, I would believe in this equal bill, but it's not, bro. Honor the treaty first, and then we talk about equality. Honor the treaty first, and we will get equality. That Haka is powerful, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to talk about, like, you know, the people that have said stuff about this. So I think if you look at our Empty Out the Clip podcast Facebook page, Filippo, he posted up well, it wasn't it was a post, but it was a screenshot of Duncan Gardner's podcast, and he had our good friend of the 135 on back 135, Stephen Setu.
The most controversial Samoan.
He proclaims to be the
most controversial Samoan on TikTok.
Yeah,
we should change that to the 3-4 plus size Samoan. Like, stay in your lane. Like let Miguel have the XL to the 3XL, then you take the 3XL to the 7XL, and just own it like that. Just for, you know, yeah. I think, and like, I'm not, maybe because Duncan Gardner's got a bit of a flasher studio and a flasher setup, I think he went in there and, like, fucking, how we call it, custom, bro. He went in there and was just changes, bro. Like, does he really think that? Like, does he really think that about Maoris? And does he really think what he felt Like he feels like, is that the same guy who was on mandate, like saying what he said? Because it almost makes you wonder, like, bro, was that a facade? Like, just listening to him, like, is that a facade? Like, you gonna agree with that Palangi guy because he was sort of like cashing you up because he was sort of just making him like almost like, oh, okay, yeah, bro, yeah, you're right. It's like gaslighting him, you know? It's like, oh, come on, really? But if anything, that's made me think, oh, I'm gonna put Miguel a couple of steps above him now,
Yeah.
and he can fucking sit and earn the 4+6L controversial side, you know? But like again, man, I don't know, bro. But like again, bro, like that's just his opinion. But yeah, bro, but it makes me wonder, like, what a lot of people who support and follow him think. Like, 'cause if that's the way the world thinks, like, bro, if the New Zealand's doomed, bro. If you can believe shit that comes out of that guy's mouth and digest it and use it as freaking ammo to sort of say, okay, that this bill's a good thing, well, fucking, bro. You're the half of the reason why this fucking country ain't moving any better for those suffering, man, you know? But that's a fucking all his people that follow him think the way he thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Stephen Sittle say he didn't agree with how the haka was done in Parliament, and that they should be, debating instead of doing haka and stuff. But I don't agree with that, because I thought that the result that happened, giving awareness to what's going on around the world, because that's more powerful than to just have it within the community. To give awareness to communities outside and to the whole world to see what's going on, because I think with anything controversial when it comes to oppression, the people that are getting oppressed, they don't really have a voice within their own country. So it needs to sort of come outside. I mean, if you take, for instance, what's going on with African Americans through the years with the civil rights movement and all that, even with the LA riots and with Rodney King, I mean, we all reacted to the racism over there, so it's a powerful thing to get out there to inspire people outside the community. So I thought that he was wrong about not agreeing that the haka should be done at that time.
For Setsu, I respect the hustle, bro. Like, he's putting himself out there, getting the views and whatnot, and yeah, I respect that, bro. But he's shooting like a lot of quotes off. Like, it feels like he copy and pastes a lot of the stuff he says, and he's kind of similar to like Brian Tamaki. He's jumping on that Donald Trump kind of success wave, and he's just shooting off a lot. Yeah, his views about like the haka. Yeah, I disagree with that. I think it's what was needed in a non-violent way. Because I say this even with the situation in Israel and Palestine, like when Hamas attacked on October 7th. When you spend 70 years kicking a dog, don't be surprised if it bites back. And like you said, what, 184 years? Something like that? So 184 years.
Yeah, bro.
You've been kicking this dog, man. You've been kicking this dog, and this dog decides not to bite back, but decides to express himself in a non-violent way, That's what the haka is, bro. It's a challenge. It's a non-violent challenge. They are, even though it was in Parliament, it was disruptive, they're still playing the game, but in a way that like shifts the power to them on social media. Like, bro, the Speaker of the House, he's a perfect poster boy of what colonization looks like. Overweight white dude sitting there with glasses and power, bro. It reminds me of those old Punch magazines that you used to buy back in the day that had those political cartoons.
Yeah.
Of World War II. He's like, you put a hat on him and he looks like Winston Churchill. He's a perfect poster boy for that. And then you got this young, Māori girl, who's, fought hard to get into the political spectrum of the Te Pāti Māori, and she starts a haka. She's a perfect poster girl for the resistance. Bro, you can stick her image on the T-shirt and it'll probably sell millions, bro.
Bro, that image is gonna be embedded in my brain forever, bro.
Exactly,
and everyone
bro.
who saw that, what a powerful moment, bro. Especially to get told to get out, like get out.
Yep.
It's like, I might get out of your house, white guy, but fucking this is my country, and fuck you, If you could sum that up like anything out the clip, that's pretty much what she was saying, man.
100%.
For Damon to agree with it, for what's his name, Steve? For Steve to agree with it, it's almost like, oh, really?
Yeah.
You let someone come in to your fucking country and someone else's house. Come on, man, be real, bro. Like, you saw how the other people were reacting, and then it wasn't just one particular party acting like that. So it's almost like, oops, you were just saying yes because Duncan Gardner's got a flash of studio and he was like, yep. He literally became the puppet, So yeah, that even though I didn't watch the whole thing, but it's just like, oops, come on, man.
It was like they were gassing each other up, like, to be honest, like, it was just, lip service to each other. But even the way she ripped up the bill and where she threw it, I thought that was quite graceful.
Yeah.
She didn't screw it up. It was one tear, bang, on the ground. Like,
she made it part of the haka. When she ripped, it was part of the haka.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
And, man, it's like, yeah. I try to put Duncan Gardner where his political stance is, but it's quite hard because he says one thing that pleases the island community and whatnot, and then on this particular episode he says something different. So it's like, even when he said about the kids, how they need to go to school, man, like when political events like a Hikoi comes across and those kids are walking in a Hikoi, they're gonna remember that for the rest of their lives, bro.
Yeah.
I remember
that's rich coming from him, eh? That's rich coming from him, bro. Especially with the guy who cried wolf when he was on Treasure Island, talking about the unfairness of what King's College and Malamba Grammar. Like, come on, cut it out, mate. Cut it out.
I remember reading an article. 10,000 people were involved that day. 5,000 crossed the bridge. 0 people were involved in arrests or disruption of the peace. It was done beautifully. That Hikoi. Like, hats off to the organizers, man. Like, the Hikoi is the perfect example of peaceful protest. And then you look at the counter Hikoi coming from Tamaki, blocking the motorway and like motorcycles and stuff. Like, it looks like another motorcycle gang just on the road, just blocking everything. It's just not organized. Or some of the people were in t-shirts saying "Real Men." Pulling up the middle finger to cameras and whatnot, it's like, come on, let's make New Zealand great again. Well, when was New Zealand great?
When this whole Kalisia was making him rich and he bought himself a Model 3, that's when. Hey.
Yo.
He couldn't reclaim his new vehicle, EV, credit on his registration or something like that. And the government's not going to pay it out now.
Yeah.
I can actually see a lot of the haters hating on the haka, and there's the same probably white people that hate on changing the names to Māori names or changing New Zealand to Aotearoa, same people. And even with like those people too, like if they say the haka was a disgrace in Parliament where there shouldn't be a place in that, that's wrong because you'll be celebrating the haka when the All Blacks do the haka.
I can say that like that. Say it,
so it's like
100%.
So when this country is actually equal, is when the haka is accepted anywhere.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It's if you don't know what the haka is, it is a challenge. So it needs to be responded to. And so that's the way the Māoris do a challenge before you have a debate. So it's exactly called for because it's culture. It's New Zealand culture. Or
Aotearoa culture.
It's Aotearoa culture, and when you sign the treaty to be equal, you gotta accept that as part of your new culture now. The Treaty of Waitangi between the Crown and the Māori to be equal. Well, you gotta take all that stuff as well and be part of the culture. So you can't say Jerry Brownlee can't roll his eyes when the haka is performed because that is part of New Zealand culture. That is part of the treaty that you sign, right? So yeah, that's stupid in itself to say that it's not meant to happen inside Parliament. So, So if you don't like the haka, then don't watch the All Blacks then.
Facts.
Yeah.
You can't throw away the kiwi fruit and eat the pavlova.
So when this bill is dead, after it's been, because I think they're gonna do it again, because it was disrupted. That vote was disrupted, so they have to do the vote again. So they're gonna have to vote, and then the first reading will go into a process where it gets written down, so it's official, and that's what David Seymour wants it to be official. It doesn't matter. It'll be somewhere. If it doesn't get past the first reading, just like National Party said, the government said, but it's going to be there for forever, right? It's going to be there. So who knows? It might come back up in 50 years' time or 20 years' time. Someone might see this thing. Oh, there was this bill that tried to go 30 years ago and didn't go. This looks interesting. Shall we bring it up again?
I think Seymour said if the bill doesn't go through, the idea of the bill was out there.
Yeah. See,
it's already embedded in people's minds. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what the Hikoi is about. When Duncan Garner says the Hikoi was a waste of time because National's gonna end the bill at the first reading, no, mate, the idea is gonna be still there. So the Hikoi is relevant. Speaking of Hikois, there was another one. If you didn't know, or maybe a low budget one. There was a low budget Hikoi happening as well in Auckland. It was going from Hamilton to Auckland, and it was Brian Tamaki's. He decided to do one as well because I think he was fed up before the Tongan flags going everywhere on the streets last week. Man, so he's had this idea of protesting and marching in protest to have only New Zealand flags raised in this country. So I don't know, but he did it in a way where he didn't even ask. He didn't ask for permission to use the motorway. So his church got in trouble by walking on the motorway and disrupting the traffic. And yeah, your guys' thoughts on that? Start with you, let's.
Pardon my English, because it is language. It is the English language, but why don't that stupid dumb cut motherfucker would go and put all his congregation at risk by putting them on the motorway without even getting any freaking permission to even do so? What a freaking muppet! Who does that? And the raising of other flags, is he for real? Is that a crime now to hang your flag in the backdrop that your sitting camps? This guy he's got to be taking the piss. Someone wake me up and tell me that this guy's taking the piss, man. I don't want to believe it, but I want to believe it because that's a stupid thing that he'd do, right? Man, this guy, I don't know. This guy calls himself he calls himself a proclaimed prophet. Oh, no. If he's a prophet, man, then you're all going to hell, man. Or we all going to hell together, man. But because this guy, the stuff that he comes up with, and I remember during COVID, he was famous. I think people were watching and having a laugh, surely not supporting them. But he came out of jail. He was incarcerated, right? He was in jail. He came out and he had a couple of busloads of his members outside doing him a haka so he could jump in his Model 3. A Model 3 is $100,000 vehicle, right? And his Tesla Model 3 for him to just stand there and wave at all the people that waited for a couple of hours for him. If that doesn't scream joke, that guy is the king of them, bro. Because what a muppet, bro. Honestly, take responsibility and look after those people, bro. If all those people were willing to die for him, bro, he's valea. There's no explanation but just straight stupid, man. I wouldn't be surprised, but if there were no other ethnic groups in their group of walkers and they were all Maori, well, that's the divide of Maori in New Zealand, right? And other iwis. But what I'm saying is, if they were Filipinos or Inkias, it's probably a little, maybe less than 1%. But if there were any Tongans marching with that dude, and you didn't know, I think the Duncan Gardner and Steve Situ were talking about maybe that much. You go ask these guys on the ground, what are they marching for? They have no idea what they're marching. Exactly. They just said that Brian told them to walk. Like, that would be a group of people who wouldn't know what they're marching for. But to see over the raising of other flags in New Zealand, like, yeah, man. Like, that is stupid, man. Like, that is, that's taking the piss right now, man. Like, that can't be real. Like, surely someone tell me that was a Drake article. What about you, Eddie? What do you say? Because you seem to be grinning, they're having a good laugh.
No, I'll talk to you straight, Brian, bro. Like, I'm upset that was Sean Johnson's last game, Moose. But we shouldn't take it out on the Tongans, Zeus. We shouldn't take it out. Let them wave their flags, Zeus. They got beautiful Lucipi, like, straight up. But, man, like, flying other flags, well, for me, it's not really a major issue. It's part of freedom of speech to wave any flag you want. I think the flags that he was looking at particular was the Khalistan flags, the Palestinian flags, and the Tiratanga flags. But those flags are, they're not official. They're just expression. Like, what, are you going to tell the kids not to wave their little kites in the air if they got a little picture of a cow on it? It's just, I don't know, it's a real dumb way to have a hikoi. Do I have to do a hikoi on the main motorway because of the KFC pieces are too small? Like, bro, like, it's meaningless, bro. It's like...
Is that not screaming racist? Like, is that screaming racist?
Bro, it's like straight facts, man. Like,
is he talking about the rainbow flags? Is he talking about those flags?
Yeah, bro. Man, like, it's just flags, bro. Like, he's waving... Okay, so in his protest, right, on his train, they've got flags saying, this is New Zealand's Trump train. That's a flag on a pole. You're waving non-New Zealand flags. You're contradicting your own protest. Like, come on, man. If we're going to protest, the KFC pieces mean more to me than your stupid flags, bro. Straight up. That's my 10 cents.
I want to know what Tongans and what Palestinians that live close by to him, so maybe we can make a hikoi and go hang them outside his church, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone say something. Someone let me know.
The man got upset with Tongan flags and someone waking up 3 in the morning listening to Vinga Boys. Come on. Let it go, bro. But yeah, that's my view, man. That guy needs to just stop his hikoi and head home.
I find it hilarious. It was funny.
Yes.
But you guys are right, man. It's like a waste of time. Like, no one cares about... It's like, to me, when I read why he was doing it, to me, it felt like it was out of the blues. Like, what the, this guy could just woke up in the morning and just came up with this idea. Let's go to church. Let's go do this. Yeah.
For anything to get out of church, eh?
I would be surprised if the guy wakes up one morning and then gets a call from council to get rid of all the lapisi from all the takeaway owners, all the people who have friends who sell those. You have all those Asian mats that sell all those flags. Because it's a big chunk of their business, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if that guy gets a call from council that, hey, man, you need to get rid of all this rubbish that's piling up outside your building, mate. Like, we're not having, that's a health risk, it's a hazard. You got to attract rats and stuff like that. So, be careful, Brian, man. You're playing with the wrong people, man. You're playing with the wrong people when it comes to flags. They try to come over there and struggle you for this out, bro. You're careful, mate.
Yeah. I was just thinking about the activism that's going on. To me, it makes sense with the New Zealand stuff, and I really feel sorry for the people over there in Palestine, getting killed and all that, getting bombed and that. It's a really bad thing. But man, I gotta say, man, some of these Palestinian flags showing up in the Hikoi. Come on, man. Can we just park that for a sec? We got other things to prioritize, man. How about in our country, Yeah. Can we fight for one thing first and do something?
Let's kill this guy first before we kill the other guy, right?
Yeah, can we just sort out close to home first, man?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah.
I've seen those few Samoans in the crowd that got into. Oh man, that really touched my heart. Yeah. And there was a Chinese guy. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Bro.
But that seems like, I think as an example like that seems to be like for people who don't understand. It's like, okay, my family's gonna move to South Africa, I'm gonna get the same equal rights as the South Africans, even though I've only been there for 2 years. Like before I can apply for citizenship.
Uh,
Is that even a thing? Like if I get anywhere around the world, is that even a thing? Like, is this guy trying to create a bill where it's the first of its kind around the world? Does he want to be known for it? Like, it makes no freaking sense. Like, where is that ever going to happen around the world? Like, come on, man.
exactly.
We've got a lot of beautiful land here. What surprises me is that Winston Peters was the one to push the he didn't want us to sell land to offshore holders of land, you know, and then they've gone and did a coalition deal for this Muppet to push his bill through, right? It's like, far out, man. Why even give it the light of day, man?
I saw Winston Peters, he did a speech, and he was calling Te Pāti Māori a disgrace. He's saying what they were doing is like disgraceful. They should do it they should debate the proper way. And he was calling out old Māori leaders from the past.
From the
They did it the right way in that. But I think that's back to our point. Like, man, it's been 184 years, man. The right way is not working.
Yo.
Right way is not working. It's gotta be, you gotta do something extreme, and it's not even extreme because that's our New Zealand culture, right?
Yeah.
Doing the Haka in Parliament is the culture. So how can you say that it's extreme and not allowed when it's part of New Zealand culture? You saying that it's wrong means that that's unequal right there.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem right there. You're not acknowledging the culture. So
Big Hollywood husbands need to do a video before all this fiasco that's happening down here. Yes, it's all about the culture. It's all about the culture. You know? So, I need your voice, Us. You need to come in right now.
yeah. Okay, boys, moving on. So you remember when part of national getting into government was what they wanted to do, and they wanted to crack down on crime. So one of their solutions for the all the small crimes happening, like with the ram raids, was to send these kids to the military and to the army, and the army to do all these boot camps. Teach these kids how to be respectful and go into boot camp and come out of them a better person. Well, it just came out in the news that the army was like, hey, hang on, hold up. Firstly, we don't have many people to do that job. We don't have the facilities, and you're going to compromise the country's defense. So this just came out. And to me, reading that was hilarious because I never knew. And I'm sure a lot of the white people that voted the National in, because they thought their houses were going to be safe, crime was going to be on the low, they're going to be safe, thought that too. And now it's unpractical. So it's a bit of a it's a bit of a situation that the government has now. You guys said that you guys are going to do this, and the people that were going to do it are saying, wait, hang on, we can't do it. So you guys thoughts on that? Start with you, Eddie.
Man, it's like mom asking the older sibling to look after the younger one. I got no time. Nah, the NZDF don't have the men or the manpower or even the training to look after these young offenders. You know, like the thing is, the military is state owned, right? And state owned facilities don't have a good track record, especially with the recent apology from Luxon to the children and disabled people that were in state care in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even the 90s. So state care doesn't work, bro. Like, it legit doesn't work with young people. You know, our foster care system is probably one of the worst in the world, bro. So you want us to put these kids, which are already in a bad spot, in an even worse spot. You know, the military, there is no love, bro. It's rigid discipline. You're trained to become, you're honed into a weapon, basically. That's what our military is. They're meant to go overseas, ensure peace by showing force. You know, like, they don't go around handing out flowers and you know, and fruits and stuff to people. Nah, man, they walk around with guns as a deterrent, as peacekeepers under the UN mandate. So I think putting kids in that situation just doesn't work. I think what they need to do, for me personally, as an idea to kind of offer a solution, but this is just my personal opinion, they need to put some people on the ground to do research and talk to like social workers, people that are actually out there helping these young kids, right? Tell them, talk to them, consult them. What do you need? What do you need us to do to help out? You know, with these social workers, they have proven records of helping kids in the community. You know, like go out there, help them. Hey, look, what do you need? What funding do you need to do this? Sticking them all into one spot in the military, you know, like you're just gonna train them to be better at what they're doing now. Imagine kids doing ram raids, and then imagine kids with military discipline training doing ram raids. What's worse? You know, we're training these criminals to be better instead of showing the respect that they need, giving them the tools to become better people in society. You can't hammer someone into being perfect. You know, hammers are not used for making something perfect, bro. The hammers are used to destroy or build. You know, you build a military soldier, right? You can break someone, you know, with a hammer, but like when it comes to these kids, you know, it needs a softer touch. It needs a personal touch. And yeah, that's my solution would be to look at these care workers that are doing the jobs. Look at these frontline people that are fucking going above and beyond for the kids. Give them the funding they need. Give them the tools that they need. That's the way to combat it, not sticking them into some military boot camp so that you can shove them in the closet and forget about them. These are kids, bro. And you know, majority of these kids are Pacifica and Maori kids. And you want to stick them into a militaristic institution? Come on, you haven't even fixed your boat that you left in Samoa, you wanker. Yeah, but that's my viewpoint on this. Like it's just sweeping it under the rug, chucking it in the closet, throwing away the key, and then with lip service to our fan.
Well, you pretty much summed that all up, bro. But the only thing I had to add to it was like, maybe this guy watched Blood In, Blood Out the other day when I watched it, like how Pako gets sent away, he's become a Marine, you know, and then he becomes a Leo after that. Maybe that's the idea where he was lucky was going for. Send him off, I'll do the Marine, and then come back, he's going to become a Leo. But you know, you're right, bro. It doesn't work. And like, when you think about the military, like the army itself has one of the highest things of suicide, man. You know, people self-harm because they're not built to be yelled at 24/7 of the day. You know, it's not a quick fix for everyone. But I feel like maybe sport, like something that the kids aspire to be. If you can lead a kid into that direction, if someone said I want to be a doctor, give them the tools that they need. Put them in the places that they need to be to get educated or to be better and to want to do better. You know what I mean? If these kids would have met guys like Nonu in the community or David Tele in the community, man, these kids will want to be on the straight. Because if you hear a story of a guy who could have made it or could have been that, that's the sort of that would inspire kids to be like, yeah, I don't do that. You know, I don't be like that guy. I want to be a bit better, you know? But man, like a lot of these guys, like a lot of our West Auckland stories, guys turn their lives around, and it's usually through sport, man. It's usually for a career. It's usually through sport. But man, that goes to show how far out of touch that guy is with, you know, the communities, man. Like he has no idea, and it seems like half the people in the government building have no idea as well. Like when a kid is naughty, the kid needs to acknowledge that they've done something wrong. You know what I mean? Putting them in a military style boot camp, mate, you're either gonna make them worse or you're gonna make these kids not wanna live, you know? And this is the next generation. So yeah, that guy, bro. Honestly, he's watching too many movies on YouTube, man. Like if he could understand someone and he watched like Yellowstone, man, that's not doing any good, bro. Like, you know, he needs to be taken to the train station. That's where Christopher Luxon needs to be taken, man. Like, it's just poor. It's almost like the whole party's like just needs a good shake up, eh? Because yeah, how they thought that was gonna even be fundable? Like, what are they trying to justify the money that they get out of sending that 24 mil to Mike King? Get them more crazy, give them PTSD, and then put them back through the system again. Like, what have they fixed? They haven't fixed anything.
Facts.
But yeah, sad day for our government, right? Because it seems like everything they said they were gonna do when they became in power is like doesn't seem to be freaking sound right, eh? Like their books might look better on paper, but fuck, bro, I don't think the ram raids in and they've gone and banned like the wearing of patches, man, in public places, where these clubs would have been the ones to collect these kids, show them love, you know, and they're probably a lot better than what the military would have done, man. Shit, imagine all the buckles they would have been out of the streets these days, wearing a VR on their hand. Oh my gosh.
If we're talking about troubled kids going to these facilities, man, it's bad timing because Luxon's already apologized for the treatment of those facilities back in the days.
Yeah, bro.
So I know it's not the same. There's the army, but yeah, it's just bad timing. Maybe you should send the kids to that place in Samoa where they send those American kids to.
Hard.
It's like a youth thing.
Because Samoa, it will be nice, yo.
Yeah, I think it's called Paradise Cove over there. So that's where they send the troubled kids from the States. They're down to Samoa to camp at that place, and they get discipline. They learn the culture. They live off the land. So I think it's a program where the kids learn how to fend for themselves and that kind of stuff. But they discipline the Samoan way.
Yeah,
you can imagine what's that gonna be like. But
it's discipline through culture. It's a different you're disciplined, but not. It's not discipline and punishment, but discipline for you to be in such a way, to act in such a way.
But
I think you guys hit it on the nail. Like it has to be a cultural significance. That kind of rehabilitation, like because the part of the reason why these kids are troubled doing the ram is that because they probably got no culture. Hey, they live in poverty. They lack culture. They're just struggling. They get into the bad crowd and stuff like that. So,
but it's a lot.
They just need direction.
It's a lot to do with giving a kid the opportunity to dream. You know what I mean? And the dream that if you don't get what you aim for, there's still hope, and there's still other things that's gonna carry you. Like you don't have to shoot your shot and just go, that's the end of the game. Nah, man, you shoot your shot, and then you rebound, and you get up, and you keep going. You keep fucking looking for when the ball falls on the next spot, and you just try and grow yourself like that. Like a lot of these kids probably just don't even hear that shit, But encouragement, stuff like that, man. Like that's the stuff that's gonna get these kids their heads out of their moolies, man. Like otherwise, like what's a ram ray gonna do? What, feed you for a month, and then what? If you give them the survival skills, man. But some kids need that. Like, they need to hit rock bottom to be able to pull themselves out. And, like, bro, the military is like, oh, my gosh. Like, that is like the saddest of sad, man. Especially because I've had a cousin who served as well, But, nah, man. I think, if anything, youth work needs to become a lot, Youth workers need to be out in the community, especially with kids like that. You need to be community men out there, like the one out in South Auckland and Otara. Like he's just always, taking kids on and just telling them, man, be better, man. Be better for your people. Be better for your name. Be better for your culture and your neighborhood, man. Like, you can do it, man. But that's up to you, They just got to hear people just inspiring them to be better, or to be someone, not be another ant following the next person. But we don't need freaking kids in the military, man. Like, can you imagine, like, his head was equipping another taken guy? Like, fuck. There's when you come over, you go, oh my gosh, how's my car? The tires are there, but the car is gone. Shit. How am I looking at my screen? But there's no computer here, but my screen's still there. Like, holy heck. You equip CIA.
The ram raids will be more organized than ever before.
That's when you pull this. Someone wake me up, bro. Is my house there? I can see the shape that it was there.
Like, I remember getting some youth workers on the back of number 5, and a lot of them said the same thing. What the problem was, and that was the follow up. Like they have these kids for a certain time, but after their program's finished, they don't see them anymore, and they don't know. There's no follow up, so they might go back to where they were or not. They don't know. So the cycle maybe still goes. So maybe if the government wants to throw money at something, maybe throw money at the follow up part of their programs. So let's get these kids covered in all bases for as long as it takes.
A 10-year plan, bro. A 10-year plan for anyone in their youth, like even from the age of 12 till they're 20, bro. That is a follow-up. That would be a life, you know. That would be like, bro, once you get to the 18, 19, 20, you pretty much know if you want to be alive or not. You pretty much know which direction you want to be in, you know. You're either going to be working for the club and being a loyal servant to your club, or you're going to be someone in the community trying to make a life for your family or for your family, you know, for your siblings, man. But otherwise, man, military, oh my gosh. Can you imagine a kid straight out of South Auckland with a semi-automatic trying to be like a gangster? Oh gosh, it was blood. That's like what? What's that incident on Boys in the Hood, man? When that guy bumps into Ray on the street, gets to the car, valet grabs a semi-automatic, shoots it in the air, starts laughing, thinks it's a joke. It's like, bro, why do you equip people like that, man?
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Come on, good luck, sorry.
All right, boys. It's time for Fia Poko of the week. Take it away, Dits.
If I don't know how, but bro, why we still have new footage of the stuff? It's just, I don't know, bro. It's like cracks me up. But man, so we will start. I'll start with another one that got me, bro. And it was just, I don't know why I watched this, bro. But it's when someone goes, he's on all fours. He's on his chest, and then he's got his mates to push him down, obviously trying to promote sneakers for a shop. And for some valid reason, instead of facing the camera at what he's shooting, and probably like 0.6, like you think he's doing it, and it looked like if he had recorded it, probably would have looked like a mean recording, like, because he's got obviously like 10 pairs of shoes there on the ground. But like, you know. Like, that would have looked cool in a panning shot if you recorded it. And then you watch the actual result, and it's like, oh, bro, you fully bullshit on your CV, mate.
Man.
Like, those guys pulling the legs, bro, I would have given the guys, I mean, it's with GA.
For all that hard work and...
Like, you cannot make this stuff up, Oos. And another one, was, I thought of you straight away when I saw this guy, but this is from, like, a Jack Minkuso. And what he did is he obviously does a bit of dry rub smoking, and he thought he'd put it in the smoker, and he must have forgotten about it. But obviously it turned a bit like a certain like grey, where like the fats have become cold, and he thought he'd slice it up. But what he didn't realize is like this has been aged for like a year, and he thought he'd have a bite, like just try it out. So he actually chucks it on the barbie, shears one side, flips it over, then he cuts it up. And then he even looked at the ngao and he goes, wow, that's crispy and really nice, you know? Cuts it up, displays it like Japanese style, puts one in his mouth. And he's mortified with that taste that he's drinking from that tap, mate. I was like, come on.
Looks good, though.
You cannot make that shit up, man. But yeah, a 300-day dried H-stick. Like, why? That's all I can say is why.
Well, what's the money? Because that's a good cut. That's a
good cut, eh?
But
then again, I was like, what would make you forget it inside if you was making all these meats, man?
But there's a way to do it, eh? You gotta have a certain temperature, eh?
You gotta have it in a temperature controlled room with the air circulating. You can't have the air sitting, otherwise mold will build up. Yeah.
So you probably had it like in a normal fridge or something.
Yeah, you can't do it in a normal fridge. So there's more mold. That's probably like a $200, $300 piece of steak right there that he's just wasted.
Have you guys tried H-steak before?
Yeah,
I haven't.
We do it at a shop.
Not that it was raw. Nah, not that it was raw. Like, no. Maybe bacon. Maybe aged bacon. That's probably the furthest I've gone. And this last one here is a classic, bro. I don't know. This is from Bradley Kester. And it's a game show host. It's obviously Wheel of Fortune. And it's what the finishing words. It's the finishing word. And then, like, when I saw sausage, I was like, yo, that could pass as sausage. But he asked to, like, solve the riddle. And it's, from what I thought, was give yourself a round of applause.
Mm.
And the guy, when he answered this, oh my gosh. I was thinking, my Lord Chris. That's Chris Luxon's brother.
Treat yourself around the sausage.
Treat yourself around the sausage.
Jeez.
Oh gosh. I don't know. Like, surely can't make that one up. Like, and he's white too, by the way. Just adding there. I'll leave that one to you guys. You guys pick the.
Wow,
Give it to
the steak, bro. Sorry, what a waste of time.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, you gotta do research on how to do it before you do it.
That's when
you're gonna be washing your mouth.
Yeah, bro. As a Samoan, man, wasting food is a sacrilege.
Yeah, bro. Well, congrats, check Mankunso, your videos Fia Poko of the week, bro. 300 day dry steak. Oh, nah.
Okay, let's you got us memory lane.
Yeah, well, this one we missed a while ago. It's from the Rugby League's Cemetery, and it's a prelim game in 2003. Also, 20 hooks over the head of running in the last. Was it the King Stacey Jones instinctively hurls the 30-meter cutout past the Topi's chest. Yeah, and I think that was sort of when Motutoni sort of found himself going from 5'8" to playing in the halves, eh? So he went, I think he was like a hooker, then he went into the halves. But it was like a last play, it was a fifth and final, and the Warriors scored off it. But from first glance, you don't see it, and you just see the reaction from the that was the end of it, man. That was the end of it. And that's good old back in the day. Good old footy days there, you know? And Sterlo caught it. He said, nah, that should never affect the game. We should carry on. You know, we'll call it a try and then we'll carry on with the game.
Mm.
So from memories from when you remember, like that game, if you don't remember, like, how do you feel like that the game has changed and what's ruined the game? Start off for you, Eddie.
Man, like, the ref has all the power. None of this bunker rubbish that we have now. Like, man, what the ref says is law, and that's it. You know? And, bro, the game seemed a lot rougher back then as well. Like, you know, all the missed late hits and all that. It was pretty cool to watch. But now you just, you can't get away with anything now. Like, multiple camera angles. You're the bunker having a say in and whatnot. The referee's basically lost his power to the bunker, really. But yeah, that's probably the main difference. But man, like the hairstyles back then, hoo-wee.
Yeah, I think technology has changed a lot. Now you can't hide anything now on the field, even with the microphone now. Now the ref has a microphone. I think also with the concussion thing too. Now, contact to the head is a big deal now with dementia and all that kind of stuff. CTE. So any contact to the head is going to be a foul now, especially in rugby union. So I think that's the big difference. We didn't care before, and we wanted to have a good game. Like any. If you think about it, any send-off is going to be detriment to the game. Because you don't want, especially in the early stages of the game, you don't want someone red carded. It's like, oh, what the point's having the game now? It's like uneven all the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But if you looked at what happened with that, it was a tackle, sort of like a punch, and then another punch. It was within the confines of that play, of that contact.
Yeah.
So really, it was not a big deal, I think. If it was like, if that just happened and these two players walked away and then the Penrith Panther walked up again back to Topi and smacked them across the head, then that's a different story, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's what the ref was, that's how the ref that play was that, hey, it was just the heat of the moment thing happened within the tackle. Of course, you're going to get some niggles happening and that's what happened. There's nothing. Just carry on.
Yeah.
There's all bullshit. Just carry on. It's not like they meant to do it. It was just part of the contact.
Yeah.
So it's good that the ref recognized that, and that's what happened back in the days. But I think the ref these days is more under pressure with concussion and the bunker and all that kind of stuff, just like you said, Eddie. So yeah, I think that's the big difference here.
Also, the Hollywood plays how players react to little shoves these days too. It would have played into that and how we see it on camera, because especially when they slow their shit down, you're like, whoa, everyone's watching it on the screen on the field.
Yo,
And it's good that back then games weren't sort of won or lost, or finals decisions weren't sort of pending on whether a guy was available or not. I mean, apart from Ruben Wiki, he's probably the player known for missing the most rep games or games that mattered for the Kiwis. And that's interesting, to see the turn of how the game has changed just because of the technology we have these days, But yeah, that's our little snippet of the memory lane.
Sweet boys, sick. I think we're running a little bit out of time, so should we get straight to last words? Start with you, Eddie.
oh man, last words. Yeah, it was a tough week with Nonu passing, and in our group chat, one of the boys says, "When does it stop?" Because we've had some other stuff pop up as well, and one of the other boys replied, it never stops, blah blah, and I don't know, I forgot where I saw it from, but I replied to Mosul. I said, the beauty of life is that it is never forever, and it's stuck with me, eh? So, my last words for this episode would be the beauty of life, the beauty to life, or of life, is that it is never forever also. So, yeah, it just means that the time we have right now, we'll never do this again. This moment's gone, and that's the beauty of it. The time that you choose to spend with someone, the time you choose, the activities you do in that time with family and whatnot, it's beautiful because it will never happen again. It's unique in itself. So yeah, those are my last words.
Sure, Bruce. My last words is shout out to Mike Tyson for going the distance, bro, with Jake Paul, bro, and proving someone who's been drilled to take blows and give blows and move the way he's moved, and for someone just scratching the age of 60, which is the retirement age in New Zealand, bro, if that's not the sign of you've still got it, and mentally you still got it, and the body's not saying it doesn't have it, he just proved everyone wrong, man. And I know Joe Parker said that, bro, this young kid's gonna probably drop him, and well, there you go. Yeah, got it. But now it's just continuing with what you were going on about, Eddie, about living in the moment, and appreciating life, and I think the only thing I can accept about losing the bro is that death comes for us all, man, and we aren't promised tomorrow, but it's what we do with that time and how we spend the day, and I've always heard it, I don't know who, I think 6 Pound is famous for saying it in the barber space, and it's if you look at your life and you put that time into as a money figure, you wouldn't waste it, right? You wouldn't just go just splash it on anybody or in anything, but you'll choose to spend it wisely, So yeah, man, I don't know how it's gonna be in the next week or so, but I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for Cams for giving our bro the opportunity to rip a pod that I can just lie down and just turn it on and listen to him talk smack a bit more. And he always questioned whether is this guy telling his myths, or has he just added a bit of GST to the Kalangoa. But I'm grateful that the WesWes Network has that platform to give people the opportunity to come on and share a bit of their life. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue to share my stories with the usos and catch up. And yeah, if it does get heavy, I know Sulu will use his Kavale for security, so we can go get a loan from Instant Finance, because Kavale under 10 years old, if need be. But in saying that, life is precious, man. Time is of the essence, and those who find it difficult to smile and laugh, reach out to people, man, because it is hard. It might be hard, but a breath of life is life worth smiling for, man. And saying that, you know what it is, get it late and I love it.
Nice.
Sure, brothers. Yeah, my last words is man, just listening to Miguel go on his Instagram and just replying to what Steven Sitzels has been saying. Like it's this back and forth that's going on. That's I think if you look at it in a way where it's thought provoking, like everyone has an opinion, and everyone disagrees and agrees with other people, other opinions. And if you got something to say, maybe if you hold off a little, someone else can say it for you. And I think that was the case with Miguel's post. But just the other thing that came up was, so he was talking about all the comments and supporters that a person like Steven Sitzler has. And just like, when I think about it, I have to agree with him that, I think that a lot of people out there can be misguided or can jump on the bandwagon of the moment. And even though I don't agree with anything he says, like, I'm just like seeing people that come under him and support him and agree with him. It gives me a lack of faith with what people people out there, like, in terms of like how to think for yourself. And I think critical thinking is a big deal, especially these days with social media and how polarizing social media can be. And it's like it's scary. I think when you guys talked about how it's scary what the government is doing, I think a lot of it is social media and TikTok and how people use it and how people communicate and how people jump on bandwagons without thinking things through. And I'm always the guy to always think about both sides of the story. Like, I have my opinions, and I have my ideas of how to live a good life and how to treat other people, which is like the main thing, right? And I know that for Pacific Islanders, we all want the same thing. We all have the same goals, but we all have different ways of getting there, and that's what we don't agree with. We don't agree with the ways of getting there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. But the common thing is we all have the same goals, right? So I think with social media and how we support people and how we post other people, how we forward other people's posts and all that stuff, and how we agree and disagree, I think it's good to just like to step back and just think about it before you do it, and just think about both sides of the story and getting all your arguments right, because it's all a learning thing. For me, I'm always learning too, so I might get things wrong and get things right, but I'll learn from that. But just like what Inside the Clip's about, we stand on what we say until we find a better idea. So yeah, that's my last words.
Thank you.
Right, boys, that's us. You know what? I want to talk about the Mike Tyson fight. I just want to get your fast opinions on that. Fast opinions. I'll start with you, Eddie.
Oh man, he's still got the lungs, man. He lasted 8 rounds, boss. There was some good shots that he popped off, but it's just I think movement. His legs weren't allowing him to move. The mind was definitely there. He was weaving a few of the punches. Nah, he did well. Still legend in my eyes. That's me.
Oh, bro, Mike Tyson's forever gonna be the baddest man on the planet, man. No matter who tries to upstage him, I think for him to win over the hearts of the people he did in his time when he was the world heavyweight champ, will never get outshadowed. Like, no one can dim his light, because he really owned that space. And for this influencer, so to speak, at the end of the day, Mike Tyson won, bro. And the beauty I took from it was seeing Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield see him before the fight. Like the mutual respect that you show each other when you're going out there to go to war against someone, man. They were just gassing him up and like, man, you know what you gotta do, man. Gotta move, baby. That to me was like the highlight of the whole event, man. And the fact that he managed to, like, not get knocked out, you not get celebrated, that says a lot about the man himself, bro. But I thought it was good, bro. I thought it was good. I wouldn't try and watch it again, because it's like, bro, a man of his age shouldn't get punished like that, because he got caught with some pretty big hits, and like, obviously his jaw might be sore today, but man, what a spectacle, right? Just when he thought that boxing was losing its way. But I thought he put on a good show, man. And it might have looked rigged, but some of these punches, bro, I don't think anyone wants to play rigged like that, eh? Still the man, bro. Still the man.
Yeah, I found it was a hard watch, eh?
Yeah.
Because I wanted Tyson to knock him out. But then I realized halfway through the fight, man, he was showing his age, eh? Like, I actually felt sorry for him. Like, he was, like, tired, man. And he was trying to stay in it. And then I was thinking, shame on fake Paul to be like he's like the man, like having this fight. And then I saw an article in the Herald saying how bad this whole event was, and Netflix should get the uppercut of the week for hosting this, because it was like a sad showing, and how everybody in the world got tricked into watching this fight.
Yeah.
You know, and but then when you heard Jake Paul's interview after the game, he was saying, "Yeah, I held back because I kind of like felt sorry for him." It's like, man, this is boxing, man. What? Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
That's what he was saying.
No, I didn't see that. But I mean, bullshit, man. If he wanted to, he could have finished that fight in the first round, man.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't have the modesty to do it.
Yeah. So that, to me, that defeats the whole purpose of a boxing match.
Yeah.
But, I think, I think, you know what it was? I think we were so hyped because we grew up with Mike Tyson. We're so hyped that he's back. And we wanted to see the old Mike, but we're never going to see the old Mike at 58 years old, man.
No.
Like, it was just a dream. It's just a little dream, and we wanted to watch and be part of that sort of like fantasy we had. Like, these fighters are old, man. Like Lennox Lewis, no, those guys, Holyfield, Mike Tyson. They're not like they were how we knew them.
Yeah.
Even David Tua, he's getting on. You know, David Tua might have a chance in there, but he too is old too. So, yeah.
Now Mike Tyson got the last laugh because he showed his mully on TV.
Zeki. Sweet boys, that's us for another week. We'll catch you guys next episode. Have a good week, and see you guys back here. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Thank yous.
Jake.